Many years ago, I learned what The Secret was, and I thought it would change my life forever. But it didn't have much of a positive impact. Even though it did expose me to the law of attraction and other higher spiritual principles, I found it to be kind of superficial and lacking in substance. The movie and the book The Secret by Rhonda Byrne had a huge impact on the world when it came out. It exposed millions of viewers to the world of the law of attraction, energy, and consciousness. I think it gave a lot of people hope and encouragement, but it had some pretty significant downsides as well. The Secret creates some really unrealistic expectations. It's written in a way that makes it sound as if you just feel good inside, everything you want is going to manifest. While feeling good within may be a part of manifestation, it's certainly not the whole thing. Visualizations and the actions you take also play a big role in manifesting whatever it is you want. If you've been dealing with the law of attraction for a while, you'll know that there are certain caveats as well, like the dilemma of trying to force a positive feeling when you don't feel positive. The writers of The Secret seem to expect you to induce a spiritual awakening out of nowhere. Sure, spiritual awakenings do happen kind of out of nowhere, and you do have a measure of agency in when and how your spiritual awakening takes place. But simply doing and thinking things to make yourself feel good probably isn't going to invoke one. A standard dilemma with the law of attraction is that you need to feel good in order to manifest the thing that you want. But you don't feel good because you don't have the thing that you want. So what do? You play pretend, visualize, write down affirmations, and all that stuff. And while that can work, it kind of misses one of the major spiritual principles, which is being at peace within despite your surroundings. If you've spent any time dealing with New Age or Eastern spiritual literature, you probably know that an inner sense of satisfaction, regardless of your outer circumstances, is crucial. That's essentially the principle of non-attachment. What the people in The Secret don't tell you is that it's something that takes time. In fact, it probably takes an entire lifetime, maybe multiple lifetimes, to actually achieve. What many people don't tell you is that it's also something that comes and goes. You go through times and phases where you're very non-attached and very at ease, and then sometimes we just forget and we fall back into states of attachment, which is perfectly fine. That's what being human is all about. Some of the teachers in The Secret hint at the fact that it is a process and it does take time, whereas others just tell you to write yourself a check in the mail and you'll get rich. I tried it didn't work. Maybe I was doing it wrong. The point is that The Secret deliberately paints this incredible picture of how quickly your life's going to turn around without really requiring any internal work or discipline, both of which are absolutely necessary for growth. I think that two of the biggest obstacles to manifestation and happiness are toxic positivity and spiritual bypassing. Toxic positivity and spiritual bypassing kind of overlap. In essence, they encourage someone to deny the fact that a problem exists in the first place and just kind of sweep it under the rug. I think that's a terrible idea. Things swept under the rug fester, they grow, and they eventually come back and bite you in the ass. The premise of The Secret is that if only you can consistently make yourself feel good, you'll manifest desirable external circumstances, which will make you feel even better in turn, creating this positive feedback loop where you never have to feel or face anything negative. I don't think this works at all. Things like shadow work and inner work are absolutely necessary. I'm a huge fan of Carl Jung, and if the model that The Secret is based on works flawlessly, it would mean that all of Carl Jung's work is nonsense, which I don't believe is true at all. Carl Jung is famous for his focus on shadow work, integration of the darker aspects of your psyche, and essentially facing your fears in a healthy and reasonable manner. It annoys me when people in the spiritual community essentially cut out one end of the spectrum of reality, just so that they can focus on the opposite side and make that side shine. The Secret cuts out the dark underbelly of existence in favor of an over-focus on light and goodness. This deep imbalance in perception led to me spending years stuffing feelings down and trying so hard to force and conjure up positive feelings when I just wasn't in the mood. It actually gave me quite a bit of anxiety. I thought to myself, oh no, I'm not feeling good, so that's gonna attract bad stuff, which in turn made me feel even worse, which in turn probably did attract some negativity into my life. The Secret is a landmark work of spirituality as a whole. Although it did open a whole new world of knowledge to the public, it created ridiculously unrealistic expectations. This led to people believing that those featured in the book We're only in it to make money out of the public's naivety and desperation. I think that the book is a good introduction to the law of attraction, but you'll need to take your own investigation and practice much further in order to see any results. It's one of those things that sounds really good, but it does require a lot of critical analysis. And that is my take on The Secret. By all means, read the book and watch the movie, but as always, think for yourself and decide what you believe is true. So keep expanding, and I will see you in the next video.